Hello, James.
Hello, Simone. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Very well. I must say, I think recording these, you and behind the scenes, you are even more. Not that you were ever. What's the word? Not disorganized. That's not true. You were always professional, and you were really tested to show how professional. I think organized. You're like even more organized in putting this together behind the scenes on camera. You're there, you're there. In fact, but I guess you always, I don't remember you not being ready for shoots. You might have been a bit mash up, but you were always ready.
I was definitely yes. I
Once,
was
maybe
professional.
Ibiza. Once, maybe I think you might have been a little bit late, which is excusable, right? I think everyone was pretty much late.
I was more than a little bit late in Ibiza, James.
I think
That's
a lot of people had some severe reprimands because
Yeah,
of that.
that's when the press went nuts when I
Yeah,
went missing. Well, actually, they didn't go nuts about me missing because MTV, you guys kept nice and quiet, but Lisa Anson was with me, and the press went nuts about her missing because
yeah.
the BBC
Well, she
was
was on
not
radio.
quiet.
She was on radio at the time.
She was meant to be live on radio, but that's a different story. No, I definitely, when it came to work, I was always there. I was on time. I had my everything kind of in place, and I would do what I had to do.
Yep.
But I do remember that after shoots, especially at festivals, I would come up to my producers and go, "Are we done? Are we really done? Are you sure we're done? Because I'm about to go nuts." So,
That's it.
are we done? Are we done? Because, I'm going to go party. And occasionally you guys would come back to me like an hour or 2 hours later where I was just smashed. And you'd go, "Oh, we have to go and record another link." It's like, oops. So,
And
those were
you've
the only
reminded me,
times. But
yeah, you've reminded me of even doing those crazy sort of video music award diaries where you held it together. Everyone was partying, and you kind of held it together, shooting those for a few hours throughout the night's craziness.
there's there is one video, and I don't know if it still exists. So there was me and you and Lawrence Coe, and we were in. I think it was after the Cannes Music Festival. It was something. It was in France, in Cannes. So, and we were in this little private party,
I love this. I don't
and
remember this. I love it. I love it.
our drinks would just be so it was all these waiters, and they never allowed you to finish your drink. So as you were drinking, they were topping it up, so you never knew how much you were drinking. So we all got incredibly drunk. Everybody was incredibly drunk. I mean, just smashed. Like every single person in this room was smashed. And then Lawrence saw a French camera crew, and he was all drunk going, "Oh, it'd be really funny to surprise James and Simone." So we basically, so there's us sitting on a sofa like that, and there's people. So there's Lawrence comes to us and he goes, "We have to film one more link," and I'm like, "Okay." And as you too, like lolling like that, and so he starts counting us down, and I'm sitting like this, and he goes, "Three, two, one. Hi, I'm Simone. I'm backstage here. And as you can see, it's all going off. And I'm completely straight, or I look completely straight like this for a second. There's someone trying to lick my ear. There was another person jumping in front of me. And I do this link. And then at the end of the link, I'm like, just kind of collapse back into a heap. But the funny thing is, I didn't realize that was filmed. You didn't realize that was filmed. All of us forgot. Lawrence forgot. That's how drunk we were. And weeks or months later, people were laughing in the office because apparently this French team had sent a tape to the MTV offices, and it
Wow.
was going around the office, and everybody was watching this tape and cracking up because it was so chaotic. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So
Aren't you lucky that
yeah.
so much of that wasn't, again, we were filming this not in that kind of, mobile
Mm.
phone day
Yes.
where I
Yes,
tell you
because
something.
that would have been all over the internet.
I mean,
So
there was probably a
yes.
few little like moments you just said where we were caught off guard. I remember catching. I
Yeah.
don't think he'd mind me saying. You probably interview him soon. Toby, I remember, was partying in the north. We went to a thing at the North Pole. You must have come to that as well. Yeah, you came. You were there.
I didn't go to the
You
North Pole.
did. You
Toby Amy's? You
yes,
went with Toby Amy's to
yes.
the
But
North
no,
Pole.
there's
No,
something. There's a thing of us. Oh, sorry, I'm getting
no,
confused
that's
with Iceland.
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 We were
So
in Iceland
went to
together.
the
I
North
didn't
Pole
go
with
to the North
Toby.
Pole.
and he was getting very annoyed with me just following him around while he thought, yes, have I finished? Yes, you have, but I'm still going to annoy you and follow you around. And he was like, camera off, Anyway, so you got into now.
Okay,
Talking of
I'll
presenters, I must say your
yes.
first sort of one with Morena was fantastic. I mean, she was open, she was brilliant. And it really illuminating on some of the workings of what it took to be a VJ on screen, and shattering some of those illusions. Fantastic.
Yeah, and the responses were really good. I kind of did it, I thought it was quite nice to once in a while mix things up and to do a VJ edition, but the responses were quite incredible. It seems that there's a lot of people out there that really want to know.
Yeah,
And so we'll just continue with them. So every so often we'll just throw another VJ edition in, and yeah, today we're going to do another one.
Rebecca de Ruvo. Now, before you
Exactly.
go off and get deep with her and reminisce, I mean, a few things lovely. The only things that always spring to mind, I mean, maybe my personal connection to it was being a script writer before I was doing a lot of the dance stuff and having to send her scripts, even going up to her house, dropping them off. When she was married to the late, great, sadly R.I.P. Derek B. Remember the rapper? Do you remember him?
She was married to him?
Yes. Yes. I am
What?
99.9% sure she was. If I've made a
I
mistake, I've
had
made a
no
mistake. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
idea.
yeah. And I mean, that guy did so much for
Okay.
British hip hop. Amazing DJ, amazing
Wow.
remixer, and her own
Wow.
career in music. Do you remember her music career? All the VJs seem to
Yeah.
have. Any VJs who didn't have a music didn't release records. Probably Toby.
But the thing is, we
Her record, by the
all
way, I checked.
loved
It's worth.
music.
Her record's worth about 20p on Discogs if you need it.
So mean. I'm sure mine
No,
is
I love
about
her.
the same
I
right
mean,
now.
I'm just saying.
But 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 I think that the early batch of VJs, we all passionately loved music. And it to me it felt that later on in my career at MTV it started to change, and to me, and I know it sounds mean, but to me it was like the Barbie dolls were coming in, like the really pretty people but who weren't necessarily passionate about music, and that really hurt for me.
Mm,
It's
mm.
like I found that really hard, and
What's the
so
phrase?
I
Fake
guess
it to
therefore,
make it.
yeah, and I mean, I look at Paul King. I mean,
Mm.
he used to be singing like, in the dressing room and in the hallways, and oh, it's beautiful. But yeah, there definitely was a deep love of music, and yeah, therefore, I guess a lot of us were making music.
Her track was good. That I caught you out. I did a video remix or something of it. It was great. It was on Loaded Records that became Skint Records, kind of. So she was
Hmm.
signed to a good label. She was good.
No.
Yeah. She makes good home pickles as well. Did you come to that evening? Were you
Okay.
there? Yeah, when we all hung out with all our kids. I can't remember if you came to dinner.
No.
That one of the summers when you were visiting.
We all met each other in the park,
Yeah,
and yeah, she's got like a gazillion of kids. She's
totally.
got a lot of kids. No, 4, 5.
Five
She
at
has
the
a lot.
five at the last
5.
count. She might have more.
Wow. No, no, no. That's it. 5.
That's
So
good,
yeah,
healthy.
that's pretty hardcore. So yes, we were talking about that as well, and just life in general. It's going to be really good catching up with her. And Rebecca and I started on exactly the same day at
Nice,
MTV.
nice.
So yeah,
All right, I
it'll
look
be
forward
fun.
to
I'll let
that.
you know how it went. Well, Rebecca, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
Oh
so much.
man, this is so fun.
Lovely.
So we've only seen each other a few times since MTV. We bumped into each other just by pure chance in a London park once. James Hyman, you and I,
Yeah.
and all our kids. Do you remember that?
So many kids.
Yeah.
So many kids. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Most of them
Very,
yours.
yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Four. Four,
Yes. Right. 2 for
which is
me, 2
plenty.
for James. And
Yeah.
did you? No, you weren't at the reunion that I was at, I don't think. So
No.
anyway, we haven't seen each other very much. And back then we
No.
saw each other every day.
Yeah. We sort of overlapped, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
And
I have to apologize. I have to apologize for the state of our dressing room.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you and I shared our dressing room. So let's go back to that, because it was quite funny how we started at MTV, right? Because we started on exactly the same day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Crazy.
But you
I
know
mean,
why?
no,
Oh, you don't know. Oh,
I
okay.
know
So they
nothing.
couldn't really? Okay, so they couldn't choose between us. They had to find one
Ah,
VJ, and they couldn't make their mind. At least that's what I was told. They couldn't make their mind up about us. And so they went, oh, we'll just take
right.
them both. So that's why we came in on the same day and shared the dressing room. We were one
See,
VJ.
oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that. I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest with you, don't have a very good memory. Like, I don't remember loads. So it's always good to talk to other people. Like, oh yeah. Maybe I
I
knew in the
know.
past, but yeah. But then we did very different things on MTV. Very different things in the end. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
you were more house music and party
yeah.
zone, and I was just regular VJ, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was my goal right from the beginning. I really, because that was my passion, club culture, the rave scene. It was the reason why I ended up in London in the first place. If it hadn't been for the rave scene, I would have never been there. That's what brought
Yeah.
me there, and I wanted to be part of that. So, yeah, it was no wonder I ended up doing that. But
On there,
let's
yeah.
go back, because, to be honest, even though we shared the dressing room, I know very little about your life before MTV. So tell me,
Uh,
what was that like?
I w-
What were you doing before MTV?
well, I worked a lot on telly when I was a kid in Sweden. I had my own show in Sweden and stuff. And then I wanted to be a singer, and I was on tour singing with the Eurythmics as a backing singer, and I was backing singer. And then I came to London because I had a record deal from the Eurythmics, and then they dropped me, of course, like you always get bloody dropped. And that's when I was waiting tables, and I got told about MTV. So I thought I'll do that just to pay the rent. No one will see it; it's cable, you know. No, no, that was my thing. So
Wow.
yeah, that's why I went
W-
along to do it.
Wow. So you were a singer. Well, you did TV and you were also a singer before you joined MTV. I also had my
Yeah,
record deal before I joined MTV. I think this
yeah,
is the thing, because James and I were talking about that, how many VJs were making music. And I said, well, the early VJs had an extreme passion for music.
yeah,
We all were either making music or involved in music somewhat, and so it kind of makes sense that all of us were also making music.
yeah. Musicians. Yeah,
Yeah. so,
exactly.
so but tell me a little bit first about growing up. So your mother was a TV producer in Sweden as well, right?
She was a producer of kids telly, children's
Oh,
television. Yeah, yeah. She did that, and my dad was a scientist. Yeah, so a very weird mixture. Yeah,
what kind of scientist?
his chemistry. He was
Wow.
professor and super cool guy. He passed away sadly when I was 32, so died very young and of a heart attack.
Oh, yeah,
Still miss him. It's a long time ago now. So
yeah.
now all of my
Eh,
friends are losing their parents. We're getting to that age now. Everyone sort of getting
yep,
there. It's tough. It's
I
our
know.
life now. So that's how
You
I sort
know
of
what
got
I
to London. That's kind of how I went to London. I just went there with thinking I was going to make music, and then I sort of stumbled upon MTV. I don't know how, because MTV wasn't really talked about in the UK. It wasn't. It was big in Europe, but in the UK, it was no one saw it in the
It's
UK.
true.
Very few people.
It's Yeah, it's true. And I think the southeast of England was probably the last to get cable. So we could move around London fairly anonymously. And then the minute we
Oh,
got on a plane, right, and we went to another
yeah.
country, we were suddenly celebrities. So it was
Yes.
quite a funny experience, right? Especially that first time when you leave
Yeah.
London and you suddenly realize it's like, oh my God, MTV is huge, but you just don't feel it, whilst you're in London.
Nothing, which was great, which was really
Yeah,
good, and I
yeah.
and I think it did us all good good that it was like that. You were young
Yeah.
people, in that environment. These days they get really carried away, I think, and there was no reason. We didn't get become millionaires, and we weren't famous
No.
where we lived, so it was a very low key situation.
Yeah. Oh, it was fun. I really think those early
Yeah,
days, it was so much fun.
fun.
To me, it felt like a startup. It had that kind of energy about it. Like we were all,
Yeah.
young people just trying to make TV, but none of us really knew what we were doing, and nobody particularly cared about that, right? I mean, even the producers, the directors, a lot of them just were thrown in at the deep end, and
Yeah.
all together we just try to turn it into something.
And I think it was good because we got to improvise a lot, so it was fun, right? It wasn't, I mean, at least my shows weren't very scripted. I knew what video I was coming out of and what I was going into, and then I just talked rubbish.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
became very good at that.
I think all of
Talking
us,
lots.
yeah. I remember my director sometimes would go, just give us a general, what was it again? A generic chatty link, just,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And we did that especially because sometimes we even lost the script, when we were, doing location shoots. Occasionally
Mm.
we would lose the script. And I remember one time as well, standing on the beach and literally the whole script, everything just flew into the sea. So we did a whole bunch of generic chatty links. And then the other thing we
Very
used to
empty.
do, because we wanted to party, we wanted to just get the shows done and then go have fun. So we would sometimes find a location and I would have the camera like this. And then I would I would turn around a quarter and film like this. And I just kept turning around. So it looked like we were in 4 different locations.
Yeah, yeah. It was very funny. It was very, I mean, I hated it when we had to get rules,
Yeah.
when we moved over the road, and I got a memo saying that there would be a stylist sort of telling me what to wear. I was like,
Yes.
no, I have my system. It works really well. It's all on the floor. All the clothes are on the floor, and then I pick some up. And here's my pot of powder, and I'll chuck that in my face, and then I go on camera.
How
It works
funny.
fine. I
Yes.
didn't even do my makeup. I didn't even do makeup when I went on. No,
Really?
they. I just put like the powder so you don't look shiny. I used to
Yeah.
just like go. That was it. I
How
brushed my
funny.
hair.
I remember at one point when we still had our shared dressing room. It's funny actually. I really don't remember the mess, but then obviously I didn't really care. I can't have cared. I think I occasionally even nicked stuff of yours and just wore it on
Probably,
air. I'd
probably.
go, "Oh, that's
But
quite
didn't
good.
we?
That goes with this."
Oh my god, it was just all over the place. But didn't we get separate ones after a while when someone moved or something?
It's possible. I know that when we still had a shared dressing
So
room, there was also a telephone in there, and we
yeah,
were allowed to call home. And
yeah, yeah.
that privilege stopped when I once called Holland and then I didn't hang up the receiver properly. And so that call
Oh,
continued on for like 20, nearly 24 hours. So that was the
fuck.
privilege taken away. So I'm sorry, that was me that ruined that bit of fun
Oh.
for all of us.
I don't
So
even see. I don't remember that.
why would you
Weird.
remember? I remember because I was the guilty one. So that's why I
Oh, you
remember.
felt
But why?
guilty. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, I can't believe I've done that. So, what was your audition like? Like, how did you actually end up getting the job on MTV?
Okay, so I was, as I said, dropped from my label. I was left in London, and my friend in Sweden, who worked for a model agency there, said, "Oh, they've called for this company called MTV, and they want Swedish presenters. I know you're not a model because they've asked for them for usually they just want pretty girls, right? That was the thing." And I and she said, "Why don't you go along?" And I was like, I went along to Sarah Martin, and I said, "Oh, my friend said you're looking for presenter." And I went into her office, and I think I got it from that.
He didn't do
I
the
don't think I did.
audition,
I don't think I. I mean, I think I just did something with her in her office. Can I
right?
be wrong? Can that be at Mandela Street? They had their
It
offices
was
in
at,
Mandela
yeah,
Street.
it was at Mandela Street. I saw Brent Hansen in his office.
Maybe
I
I did.
do believe I came back for an audition, um, and then got it, but it was all very quick. It was all in the space of just a few days that I got the
It was
job.
very quick, right? Yeah, it was very quick.
Very
I was
quick.
terrible. I was terrible in the beginning as well. I was so bad.
We all
So
were.
I was so oh. I remember looking back, cringing at my like.
Yeah.
I didn't like look at myself. I caught when we got cable. I was like, oh my god, I'm so bad. I can't believe how bad I am.
But do
Yeah,
you have that thing now? So I felt for years I would cringe, when people played my music and my video or my MTV stuff, I would get really embarrassed. And now I'm beyond that. And now I can just look at it and go, oh, how cute. It's
yeah, I
like
know. Yeah,
I don't
really.
feel like that anymore. Yeah, you have the
No,
same
it's
thing?
quite funny. Yeah, because it's so
It
long ago
is.
now. So it's like, well, who is that person? Oh God, Brent Hansen. Yeah, maybe I did see him in his office. I never felt he liked me. I think he wasn't my biggest fan. I always thought, I always like, I don't know what it was with him. I liked Bill. I got on well with and
Oh,
Richard
yes.
Godfrey, but
Bill Rosie.
Brent,
Yeah.
but Brent. Oh, I found it very tricky with him. I just never thought he had favorites. I know we're not here to bitch about Brent, but I never felt like he wasn't my biggest fan out of all the
I mean,
people in the
it's
top there. He was always a
it's
little bit
possible.
like, yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, it's a big company. You're not going to have that click with every single person,
yeah,
right? I mean, that's just life, I think. Yeah. So when I went in to see Brent Hansen, um, I had been told by an agency in the Netherlands that they were
yeah,
looking for VJs, and I had just signed my record deal in the UK. So I was already there, and they said, "Oh, when you go, make sure that you do your makeup and you do your nails and you get your hair done and that you look really pretty." And I thought, well, that's what everyone's going to do. So I did the opposite, and so I wore
yeah,
a
yeah,
big baggy jumper. I had no makeup on. I had my baseball cap on, and I basically put my feet on the table in his office and started telling him how to run the business. And I told him he's not running it properly, because I wasn't actually trying to get the job. I just thought that if they like me at MTV, so my goal was to meet as many people as possible in the office and then hopefully to leave an impression, and that
yeah,
would help me when my video was going to come out, that they would maybe play my music video. So that was my whole thinking.
yeah,
I never trying to get the job, but I basically told Brent, I'm like, look, your VJs are nice, but they're too old. I was 18. I said, look,
oh
I'm
yeah,
out there with the kids. I'm your target audience. I'm out there in the clubs with them. I know what clothes they wear. I know the language they speak. You need someone like me. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that worked, apparently.
It
So
worked.
yeah, it worked. Got the
Yeah,
job.
I know. Oh, it was fun. It was a lot of years of traveling and doing fun things. I did so much live stuff as well at MTV. It was great. I had my breakfast show was live in the mornings from 7 till 9 for years. It was ridiculous.
Was it?
And yeah, Awake on the Wild Side, we did like, it was before Big Breakfast. It was like that. I had guests in. Steve came in and it was brilliant.
Wow.
But I mean, I had to be at
Wow.
work at like 4 in the morning. And that was fun. I remember I really like that. The
Hmm.
VJing is a bit, it became like a factory, didn't it? Like you had to do the
You mean
shows,
just you mean standing in
the
front of the
blue
green
screen.
screen?
Yeah.
Blue screen,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
We did a
Yeah.
lot of that. We did a lot of that. But the live shows were good. That was fun. I got different guests and met lots of fun people.
I never realized that that was, or I just forgot that that was another live show, because I remember Dial MTV was live, wasn't
Was
it?
it?
Was it? Or
No,
maybe it
it's
wasn't. No, it
recorded.
was just people were
It
you
was
you just
recorded.
took in callers. Oh, I used to hate that Dial MTV.
That's
I
all
really
I
did.
did on my morning. I did that on the morning show. I had people calling in every morning.
Were you
It
any?
was
I mean, did you
fun.
like that?
I don't mind. I could talk to people. I remember once when someone sent me a picture of their puppy, and I was like, oh, holding up, I was going to call this person about their puppy, and I love dogs. and then it turned out that the dog had been like overdriven by a car the
Oh
same
my God.
day, and I started to start laughing because I got so shocked, and
Oh
then I
my
was
God.
like, I'd stopped laughing. It was awful.
Oh my God.
Like, and I so that wasn't the best because it's also 5 in the morning, right? So you're like you're not reacting as well as you probably should have, because I was like, I was in a celebratory mood about this puppy, and then it turned out the puppy was dead, and oh my
Oh my
god,
God.
very MTV moment.
Oh my God, that's
So funny.
crazy. So you obviously have the same thing as me, that it's the embarrassing, the shocking, those kind of moments are the moments that stay with you the most, right? Because that's the ones I
Yeah,
remember where I make a fool of myself or something.
yeah,
Those are my strongest memories.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I don't know. I think it was quite a long time. How long were you there? You were longer than me, right?
From 1990 until 99. So yeah, 9 years.
Oh wow, you did 9 years. I was at 96, I think, a bit earlier.
Right.
90. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I was there the longest out of everybody. No, I know I was there the longest out of everyone. And it was quite funny because I had been meaning to leave for a while because MTV really changed towards the end.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I really didn't feel that at home anymore. It became too corporate
Yeah.
and too, like you said, regulated, and I felt like the love of music was just slowly slipping away, and that was
Mm.
really eating at me, that all the new people that were coming in, or a lot of them, it wasn't about music anymore. It was more about celebrity and about pretty people, and I was still old school in that way. For me, it was about the music, and so I did find it quite hard towards the end, and so I meant to leave. And I remember at one point as well, they were gonna fight. They used to do this mean thing where they'd go, we're going to fire 10% of the staff. And they would tell you
Oh
that like a
yes.
month before they were going to do it. And then everybody
Yeah.
was on edge because no one knew like who's
Mm.
going, who's going. And this horrible atmosphere would start. And so I, at that point, went in to the office and I said, basically, I'll go. I tried to hand in my notice, and then they gave me a pay rise. Um, so I stayed. Yeah, so I was kind of
Yeah.
weak at
Oh, that's
at
good.
that point, and stayed, and I liked the perks too much, I guess. So it
Yeah.
actually took me quite a long time to eventually
To
leave.
go.
Yeah. Well, eventually
Well,
got kicked out. So I kept meaning to
yeah.
leave, and then I didn't leave, and then I was going to leave, and I didn't leave, and then in the end they just gave me the boot, and that was it. Yeah.
But did you do Party Zone only at the end? Was that all you just,
No.
or did you do
Oh
VJing
God,
still?
no.
You just still
No, I was doing Party Zone, MTV Dance, of course. I was
yeah, yeah.
doing shows for MTV Germany, so I was doing shows in German for them.
Oh
I
yes.
was
Oh
doing
yes.
Snowball, going around to
Oh
all the
yeah,
big
I did that.
snowboarding
I
events. Yeah,
I did that before. I did that for 2 years. Oh, it's okay. That was fun.
that was a lot of fun.
With Kate.
Um,
Yeah.
Sorry?
With Kate Swift.
Yes, with
Kate
Kate
did that.
Swift.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
director.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we had a ton of fun doing that. And just still a lot of location shoots. I was doing all kinds of location shoots and festivals and all those kind of things. Those were the things I really enjoyed. And of course, I really enjoyed Party Zone. So, yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually I think I was really lucky towards the end that I really only had shows that and I think that was another reason why it was hard to leave, that even though I didn't like the corporate feel of MTV, I still love my shows. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And James. And you and James stuck together till the end. Yeah.
Yes, yes, me and James.
Yeah.
And now again, we're having so much
Yeah.
fun doing this podcast. It's so great. It's almost like we've never stopped working with each other. It's been like 20 years, but you just
Yeah.
fall straight back into to where you left off. We still, yeah, it's good. It works. So tell me, what after your time at MTV, you pursued your music more, right? With your,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was a band, right? You were with the band.
Yeah. Yeah. For many years. I did that. God, I went through so many record deals and I never had a hit. But I made a living out of playing and singing, which is what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of shows in I didn't want to do more telly. I really didn't want to do telly. I really didn't want to do telly when I did MTV either. I didn't, because when I was a kid and I did telly, I decided I wanted to do music, not telly. And I
Right.
was scared of getting sort of stamped with one, so then it would ruin the other. Do you see what I mean? Because it's hard to,
Yeah.
now not so much, but in our day, multitasking was frowned upon. You know, you were supposed to do
Right.
one thing. You couldn't, either you were a good actor, you were a good singer, you were a good singer, you were a good, you know, you, people like to pigeonhole you. So yeah, uh, and then that happened. I definitely had that after me, MTV the whole time, and I was trying to be a credible musician, and then it was like, oh, Rebecca from MTV, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Which I now love that I did MTV. I didn't enjoy my time there. I really enjoyed it, and it was definitely a fun time when you were young. But I think it sort of sidetracked from what I really wanted to do. And if I knew that it would have got that big, that it did in Europe at least, and
Mm-hmm.
in the UK, then I probably wouldn't have done it. You know,
Really? You
yeah,
wouldn't?
no, no,
Wow.
no,
Huh?
because I really burned. Like I knew that it would do that, and I thought, yeah, if I knew, I thought it was just going to be like a small little thing. But you know, I had so much fun. I will never change it for the thing now. But if I knew from the beginning that it was going to
Right.
be that hard to shift, I probably wouldn't have done it. Yeah.
Wow.
But
Huh?
am I glad I did it? Probably, because you never know with music how that's got to go. But it definitely wasn't my dream. You know, it wasn't my.
Yeah.
And I had so many people saying to me afterwards, like, "Oh, how do you get that incredible job?" You know, and I was like, it's like I don't know. You just walk up to someone's,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. And people have like courses and you know sort of university degrees to become television presenters, and I'm like,
I know,
why?
we just walked in. I
Yeah,
know how funny, right? And a lot of people at MTV, like I said, the same with a lot of the producers and directors. They weren't trained, a lot of them. People would
yeah,
work
no,
their way
yeah.
up, and if people
Mm.
liked you within the company, you would be given all kinds of responsibilities. I mean, I was even at times filming, like I would be given little handy cams and little cameras, and I was shooting a lot of the b-roll. So a lot of the festival
Oh,
stuff and wherever we were going, I was shooting b-roll. And again, I'm a VJ, or I was a VJ, you know, what would I
yeah.
know? But yeah, and they just kind of taught me what I needed to know,
Other thing,
and that was it. And yeah, and there
they
was
were
even
definitely much more
opportunities, for
fun.
instance, like Paul King. There was opportunities if you wanted to move away from being a VJ and move behind the cameras, because that's what Paul King ended up doing, right? He ended up
Yeah.
producing, directing, and kind of very cleverly, I guess, shifted his career. Before he got the boot, he just moved into a different direction with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
and then after MTV, you became mama in like a big way. Did you always think that you wanted? I mean, did you always want to have that many children? Because you have a lot, four.
Mm, no, I mean, as I like, it seems to be the line in my life that I don't think things through. I just kept going pregnant, and then,
Right.
and I guess the last one. Sorry, Angus. I cried when I found out. I was like, "Oh my god, I got three babies. How am I going to do another one?" You know.
Yeah.
But he arrived, and of course, it's an amazing thing to have four children. What a blessing! But I
Yeah.
would have, if I was a more controlled human being, I would have probably had the three. I think three is a really, you can have a smaller car, you know. And my husband had one in the luggage, so we got five, you know.
Wow. Five
So, I mean,
kids.
they get it, but they're big now. So, like 13, 14,
Yeah.
15, nearly 17 and 22. So, I'm in teenage hell right now. Are you in teenage hell right now? I'm in teenage hell.
I have
London, teenage hell.
yeah, no, I have a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, but we live in the
Hmm.
jungle. You know, yes, we
Yeah.
don't live too far from the town, but no, my kids are they're actually yeah, they're really good kids. I can't really
Is your
say too much.
19?
I mean, a 19-year-old's a bit moody. You know, he
No, but
doesn't.
does
He
he live at
base
home still? He lives at
He's
home.
about to leave. He's about to leave. Yeah, he's going to leave this
Oh,
summer.
okay.
So he's going to be studying in the United States and playing football there, just like his dad.
Oh,
Yes, he's a footballer.
oh,
So
of
we've ended up with one
course.
of each. So my husband was a football is a no, well, he was a footballer. So we have one who plays football and has got a big scholarship in the US because of that. And then we have the second one who's the creative one. He's playing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
piano, he sings, and he's more like me. So
Yeah. Oh, how
kind of funny.
funny.
Yeah. And what about you?
Ah.
Do any of your kids want to, follow in your footsteps and, the
They
family
all sort of,
trait
they're
get into?
creative. They're creative, definitely. And my oldest who's 16, he's very much into football and goes to football school and academy. And he's very sort of sporty and like science, a bit like my dad. And the other three are very quirky. You know, they are like the boys wear eyeliner, they got long hair, uh, they sit and do oil paintings. I mean, they're arty. My youngest one sings and plays the guitar. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. I
Fun.
mean, I'm not in the rush for them to grow up. I think they should be kids for as long as they can because I was
Yeah.
in such a hurry to grow up. So
Yeah, because think about it. They are now the age that we were when we were on MTV. I mean, how
I
crazy is
know,
that?
I know,
Because how old were
I
you?
know. We're the same age, aren't we? I think maybe I'm
I'm
older
50.
than you. Okay, I just turned 52, so I'm a year and a bit
Right.
older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we were very young when we joined.
yeah, yeah. We were,
Yeah.
and yeah. I mean, my kids. I mean, God, I don't think they're going to be living. I lived on my own since I was 17.
In
My son
London.
isn't capable. Yeah, and my son is not capable. And no financial support from anybody. It
No.
was just me and my work ethic, party hard, work hard. You know,
Yeah, same here. I mean, I was 18 when I moved to London. I had my record deal, but I never opened a bank account before. Like I literally went out my mum's house and then straight into London by myself. So the same
yeah,
kind of thing, and you just
yeah,
basically you sink or swim and that's
yeah.
it. And there were times
Yeah.
that I really didn't have any money and I couldn't afford the underground ticket or a bus ticket, and I would walk for miles to get home. And I shared a
Yeah,
flat, and at times I would literally just steal slices of bread from one of my flatmates because I had no money. But
I know.
you make it work, right?
Yeah, and I think it's probably quite healthy. I think everyone's too nice to their kids these days, including myself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, maybe we
you
make
sort
it
of,
too easy for them.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I I hope it's going to work out. Because I always thought that I was all right, but I think it made us very strong, being able to look after ourselves, knowing what a loaf of bread cost. Knowing
Yeah.
that buying a nice pair of trainers is something you do when you have a big paycheck. I don't know.
But in hindsight, I don't know if you have this. So if I look back, I've had some pretty scary moments. If I look back, I'm like, oh my God, if that had been my daughter, if that was my son, it's like, ooh, I would have,
Mm,
like, you kind of bob and weave your way around it, but it doesn't mean it's always plain
no.
sailing. There's been a lot of moments where you go, okay, this could have potentially gone very wrong, but lucky enough it didn't. You must have had
It's
moments like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the kind of moments that you don't want your parents to know about, right?
Hmm.
Because they never knew when you didn't have food, or I couldn't pay my electricity bill, or when, my kids would, or your kids would call you on the phone and go, Mom, I can't pay. Can you swish over some money? You'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But I never asked. Did you tell your parents when you had sticky moments?
No, but then also we didn't have cell phones. There was mobile
Yeah,
phones. There was no mobile phones. There was no computers and internet. And so every so often I would call her on the telephone, but because
yeah.
of course if I had no money, I also had no money for a telephone call.
The phone call,
And it was
exactly.
only once we started to join MTV that I could call her every day. My mum used to love it because when I was on MTV, she could see me every day. And then every day I
Oh,
would call her afterwards, and then she would tell me, don't wear that again. Don't put your hair like that. Do it like this. And yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, you had like a happy fan critiquing you, one that loved you, you know. Yeah.
Yes, definitely critiquing my crazy outfits all the time. And they were nuts. I
Oh,
used to wear really insane clothes. Like some of it is good, and
yeah.
some of it I look back now, I'm like, what the hell was that?
Just looked like an office worker because that was sort of the fashion then that I went for. I mean,
Okay.
you had more the ravey stuff. I've never been a raver, but I remember I had a lot of just like shirts. So when I look back at like things now, I mean, it's really shit. I mean, I dress like an older. I look like I should probably dress now, and I don't dress like that now. I don't know. It was a weird time in fashion, definitely.
Wow.
Not
I wasn't
the
following fashion. I
nineties.
just did all my crazy
No, you
nutty
weren't, darling.
clothes. Hmm?
You really weren't following. No, you really weren't following
No, I went.
fashion.
I
I
just
know.
grabbed I just grabbed whatever I thought was fun and that was it, and then put it all
You,
together. And so instead of having one pattern, I had 6 different patterns and a hat.
yes, and hat to match the patterns. Yeah, Mamma
Yeah.
Mia, that's funny.
I actually got to a point where I wouldn't leave the house without a hat. Like I actually felt naked without a hat. That's how
Oh,
obsessed I
okay.
was with wearing hats. So I had a lot. Did you ever get this thing? Because we were on MTV for so long, did you get this like when I would go somewhere else, say I was asked to do another TV show or, and I go to a different country and I'm somewhere and it's all new people and I would feel quite insecure. And then the minute the camera came, I was like, oh, thank God, almost like there was a friend, like, oh, I know this one. Did you have that kind of
Yeah,
feeling after a while with the camera where you thought, oh, at least the camera is here? Like, I can't even, it sounds kind of nuts when I say it, but like,
yeah.
no, you never got that?
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, I feel very comfortable in front of a camera. Just the other
Right.
day, my little brother was doing a film, during COVID for someone, and
Yeah.
he has one of those big cameras, and you put it up, and everyone got really nervous. I get in front of the camera. Ah, hello, old friend. I feel completely
Right.
fine talking to the camera. I have no problems talking
Isn't
to the
that
camera.
isn't that funny? That's exactly how it
Mm,
feels for me. Like, hello, old friend. That is
yeah,
exactly how it feels. How
yeah.
funny.
It's easy to talk to a camera for us. We
Yeah,
could just talk rubbish at the camera for hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Photo camera? No. I hate
No,
photo
I
cameras.
know.
I just
I'm the
freeze up. I look awful. I
yeah,
can't, and I've
yeah.
never been able to get it right. I never seem to look good barely ever seem to look good in a photo on a photo. Yeah.
It gets
You?
worse and worse though. Sometimes, but I mean, I'm telling you, these days, yeah, it has to be on a good day after a good night's sleep. I can sometimes, and I can do it if I can tell you like if I'm looking this is my good side, so I
Yeah.
can do it. I know how to go, and I kind of go, and then I'm kind of I have like a little photo thing going on, and if I get that right, I look okay. Otherwise, it's like
Ah,
what's going on?
I know. No, for
Who's
me,
that weirdo?
I know I can't do it. I hate it. I really hate it. And people think that I make it up when I say that. I mean, I've even been at photo shoots way back when, and I would say to the
Mm,
to the photographer that I'm so insecure and I hate the photo camera, and they would laugh at me and go, "Yeah, right." It's like, no, really. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
It just feels so it to me it's so unforgiving. It's like it has to be right in that 1 second. Whereas with a camera, you just
Yeah.
you can just keep changing and you keep pulling a different face and maybe one face is slightly not right, but it doesn't matter. With a photo camera, it's like
This is the one. Well, I think it was easier 20 years ago to look good on a photo camera. Now it's even more unforgiving.
you have filters, my darling. So at least
Oh,
that can be done,
I
right? I
don't
mean,
use
huh?
I don't use filters.
No,
Take it or leave it.
but
Yeah,
no,
you
but
can.
but basically, theoretically, you can make better pictures now than you
Oh
could
yeah.
back then. Um,
Oh yeah.
James Hyman was wondering if you were married to Derek B before your time at MTV. Were you?
Yeah, I was. I was married to. I was going out with Derek, and Sweden wasn't in the EU. No, England wasn't in the EU, and we were going out with each other. My visa had run out, and I got deported. This is before MTV. I moved to London in 1986, and then we had to get married if I was going to stay in the country. And then, just as I got my visa, the same month, England joined the EU.
No, that must have been Sweden then, because didn't England join in 1972? Am I wrong?
Oh,
England joined
Sweden
that
joined.
late.
No, Sweden joined the EU
Right,
in
right.
1991. Whenever we joined MTV. But anyway, I was with Derek, yes, and he was. I we broke up, and he was really upset by us breaking up. And when I first started MTV, he used to stand outside the studios and wait for me, and
Oh,
I had to like hide. He passed away, bless him,
yeah, yeah.
from a heart attack.
Oh,
About I went to his funeral
yeah.
because when his mum, bless him, I don't think he had a very happy life.
Oh,
Uh, but yeah, he was a crazy man. But he was my boyfriend when I was 18, 17. I can
yeah,
barely remember it. But yeah, we were
yeah.
married.
And you were also for a while seeing Noel Gallagher, were you?
No, we were just friends.
Oh, okay. All
It was
right.
all over the press, but it wasn't true.
I
I,
know.
we were really good friends. They were staying around my house a lot, him and Liam and stuff, and I.
That's
Um,
right. Yeah, I do remember that.
yeah, I know they were just we were just mates.
Right.
I think I don't want to, you know. I think what happened was he was interested in me romantically, but I couldn't feel the vibe, so we were friends instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that with some people. Some of the stuff that the
Oh,
press would come out with, like there were so many people that we're meant to be seeing that we really weren't,
I know.
where you go, where did this even come from? Like, and there'd be people that you're even closer with, maybe not like in a
Yeah,
relationship, but you're with a lot more, and you go, why aren't they writing about this person? And if you want to pick someone and say they have an affair, then logically you'd pick the one the one that you're hanging out with. But no, they would just pick these random people and say, oh, they're in a relationship. And you're like,
it's like
don't think
no.
so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know what it was like? Every rock star or pop star that came in always tried to get your phone. And not all of them, but I would say 7 out of 10 times they would try to get your if you were interviewing them, they would try to get your number. They would try to call you. I mean, I had so much of that at MTV,
Well,
didn't you?
yeah, well, I mean, some, but I mean, you were, the real sexy chick on MTV, I think. I mean, to me, that was like you were
Uh,
just, I don't know, like, ooh, sexy.
oh, was I? I don't think
I
so.
wasn't like that. I was like, the tomboy. So, yes, I had certain people pursuing me, but yeah, more the kind of quirky ones that also fell for more quirky, not very sexy tomboys. So
I remember
yeah,
the
different.
guy from Ugly Kid Joe. We were away at somewhere, and he was like banging on my bedroom, and then he was like climbing a tree trying to get it. I mean, they were just crazy. These rock star boys, they were really. But I guess it was fun. It was fun, but my God, I I I I I think they just thought they should do that to sort of get their more place on MTV or something. Like I had something to do with it. I don't know. Like
Maybe.
obviously I did not. I obviously had nothing to do with whose videos got played on MTV. But yeah, maybe they thought it would help.
Well, and they just fancied you. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful
obviously.
chick, and she's on TV, and they see her every day. Because also the older musicians that we interviewed,
Mm,
that we were very famous for them, because anyone who goes on tour or who used to go on tour would stay in the
yeah,
hotels, and what do you play in the hotel rooms? MTV.
MTV.
So
I
all
know.
the bands, and the same for us, like we would go on location and you come back to the hotel room And the first thing is you put MTV on. That's just, and so
Yeah.
MTV was always playing. And so all those bands, all those artists, they watched us all the time.
All the
It's
time.
just,
They knew who we were. Yeah, exactly.
right.
What's his name? Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins came up to me at MTV Awards in America when I was covering it, and I'm such a fan of theirs. And he says, "Oh," and he said, "Hi." No one like no one talked to me. It was all like American MTV, and I was like, and he said, "Oh, I really, really want to say hi because when I'm in Europe, all I do is watch MTV." And I see you're like my friend. I was like, I'm not your friend. I'm your fan, but not your
Right.
friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. I had it one time when Brian Adams came up to me and he went, "Hi, I'm Brian." I went, "Hi, Brian." I shook his hand and walked off. And then later on, I'm thinking, Brian, oh, it's that Brian, but they're kind of, yeah. So everybody kind of knew us in that way.
that
You know what we
song.
used to do, which was really good fun? So we would go into our hotel room, put MTV on, and so I'd be with my whole MTV crew, and we used MTV as our own personal jukebox, especially late at night. I would just call the control room and I would just take requests. So we would basically be saying, okay, play this video, this video, this video, this video. And then they would play it for us and we would just sit there and it was our jukebox. So that was fun.
Oh, brilliant!
Yes.
I don't think I ever did that. What was the name of that guy in the control room? What's his name? Chris, the sound man. Do you remember how grumpy he was?
Chris, I can't remember. I know Maya, and Maya now lives in Mexico. She was living in Belize like me for a while, and then
Ah,
they moved to Mexico. So, yes. Oh,
what
man. So,
happened with that? What happened with that Belize thing? Didn't like some blonde lady or something kill some policeman on a? I read some news story. I thought
yes, it's the
Simone will know all about
daughter-in-law.
this.
It's the daughter-in-law of Lord Ashcroft. There you go.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh, we have some high profile crazy cases and also in the McAfee, whatever, when he was on the run for the
yeah,
police and hiding on the
yeah.
beach with like a box over his head and that whole weird chase, that was all in Belize. Yeah, we get some interesting cases here for sure.
I
It's
was like, that sounded insane.
it's
She was
like
like,
this.
she was playing with a gun and then she happened to shoot him. It's like, what?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, but Rebecca,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh,
It's
no
been
problem.
so lovely catching up with you. Um,
Yeah.
is there anything that I should know of what I mean, are you going to be doing stuff professionally that I
No,
should know about? No, no, really,
no, 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 no.
no, just mum, that's it.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm still playing and stuff, music, but I've written a book as well that's out.
Ooh,
It came out a few
ooh,
years ago. A novel.
yeah.
It's called I Am Ed. I can show you. This one. Oh my God. This one.
I am Ed. Okay,
Yeah.
and what's that about?
It's about Ed Henderson and his three brothers that lose their parents and they start a band in London and things that happen to them. It's very good.
Wow, it's a very
Well,
thick book as well. Look at you.
yeah, I've written two
Nice.
books. The first
Yeah.
one did okay, but second one I can't get to finish, so it's tough. I'm just, I do my stuff. I mean, I don't really think I'm a mom, and I am a mom, but that's just everyone is a mom is a mom. It's not like a career. It's
Yeah. Well,
something
when
you
they're
decide.
young, I
Oh
don't know
God.
about you, but when they were young, that was it.
Oof.
It's like that was my world was filled up to here with kids, and then there was a
Yeah.
tiny little bit at the top of, at the bottom of what I could do for myself. But now they're older,
Yeah,
right?
no, definitely, and that's definitely nice to have has cleared up some time for the brain. But just
Hmm.
as that happens, then that sort of 50 brain fog comes in, and then yeah,
I don't have any of that. I don't know if it's my environment or what it is, but no,
it's your environment. You live in the jungle. You're
I
very
think
lucky.
so. I think so. I think I have a very healthy lifestyle here, and I think that really makes a difference We eat super healthy
Yeah.
food. We're outdoors all the time. Yeah, it's good. It's
I
good.
hate
You'll
London so much.
just come to Belize and come and float in my pool for a while.
I'd love to. I'd love to come to Belize. But, you know, I will let you know. One day I'll
Oh,
stand there.
open invitation. You are always
Brilliant.
welcome. Always.
All right,
Like I was
honey.
saying to Marina, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we are family forever. It doesn't matter if we don't see each other for many, many years. It's like it's beyond that. We're MTV family.
Oh, that's lovely, Simone. So nice to see you. And you look so lovely and happy as always. You
Oh,
deserve that.
it's
Oh,
lovely seeing you, and we should not keep away from each other this long. I'm going to come and look you up this summer
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Please do. Please do.
I'll be in
So my love to
London.
James as well.
Mwah.
Yeah.
I will do. I will do. Bye bye.
Shall I? Bye.
I love it. You're always jolly. You're always jolly. You know, I don't think I even remember you ever being down during that whole party. So obviously, when it came to its conclusion, that was some tough times for us.
Yeah, that was horrible. But no,
We,
overall, I'm not a.
no, you're
I'm a
upbeat.
pretty happy-go-lucky person generally. Yes, life
You're
is
so
good.
right.
I mean,
You're
I
so right,
literally
Larry.
wake up every day and I'm just so happy to be alive.
Well, you are so right. That's the way to be. Think good, and it will be
Yeah,
good, right?
right, exactly.
So
So, okay, so
tell
I
me
met
about
up with
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
When was the last time you'd actually spoken
Oh,
to her?
that time in the park with
Oh, of
you. I haven't seen her
course.
since.
So that was about 8, 9 years ago.
So that was a long time ago. That was with all our kids. So yeah, talking about kids, I can hear kids in the background. This is our life these days.
Excuse me, kid in the
I hear
background.
kids.
Can you keep it down, please? Okay. Go on, carry on.
This is our life now, James. It's
Yeah.
just kids,
Well,
kids, kids.
I'm still a
So
kid.
Rebecca, no, it was nice. The thing I know, the thing I that surprised me about my chat with Rebecca was that she said that if she had known how big MTV was going to be, she would have never taken the job.
Wow, wow. Interesting. I
Yeah, because
don't you don't need to go into detail. Go on.
yeah, no, she just felt that it took away from her as a singer, as an artist, that she wasn't being taken seriously anymore in a way after that. So, yeah,
I think that could apply to a lot of the other VJs who tried their music. I mean, obviously Steve Blaine did it more for a laugh. Ray did it for a laugh. But Morena, I can't remember if you probably asked her about that too. But Salad, I can't remember. You know, running
yeah,
parallel. Yeah.
yeah, no, right. And so she actually left MTV because she wanted to pursue her musical career. And as Rebecca was saying, these days it's a lot more accepted that people do a whole bunch of different things. And back then it wasn't, so we were just seen as, oh, a VJ who wants to sing. I also had my record deal before I joined MTV, but I just never really managed to write any amazing songs, I don't think. So I think I
I
was lucky that
You
I
did.
had the
You did.
MTV to.
You had 2 beautiful hits.
They were
When Love Rules the
no,
World.
no, they
When
were
Love Rules the
okay.
World. Beautiful. Produced by John Marsh of The Beloved. Lovely.
Yes, I know. I
Remix it.
know. I
Re-release
know.
it. Get
No,
it.
it
Get
was.
it. Anniversary editions. Come on, we said be positive.
Who
Come on,
knows?
bring it again. Get it. Do it.
Yes. Okay.
Duet. Do it.
Come on.
Do it like a sort of imagine Yoko Ono, John Lennon, and get all the people we've had on to sing like lines of the song and televise it.
No, wouldn't that be sweet? No, but so it was lovely. It was lovely seeing Rebecca again. And yeah, watch out, James, because me, you, her, Marina, we're all gonna have a little reunion just this summer. So gonna
Love
meet
it.
you all in the park, little
Can't wait.
picnic.
Can't wait. Okay, lovely.